the next question comes to us from, I'm not sure what size company this is, but it's a pretty open-ended question. It's, is my patent strategy headed in the right direction? And there's no one-size-fits-all answer to that question. Optimally, at some points, there was a strategy that was laid out. And people can be developing a patent portfolio for a lot of reasons. Often with earlier stage companies, it's to increase valuation or attract investors. It's the primary goal for it. Certain industries like therapeutics, you need to be able to protect that therapeutic before you invest a lot of money into it. For large tech companies, it's often to develop a defensive patent portfolio, having enough patents so that nobody thinks to sue you for patent infringement because they're worried about the countersuit risk, and that's what we mean by defensive patent portfolio. But there should be an ethos, strategy ethos, and that may change over time, right? Like if you're a startup and you're just trying to get patents for investment, well, maybe you've gone IPO and you have easy access to capital, such that the patent program is not really any large burden on the enterprise like it would be with the startup. So things change over time, and I'll give you a few for examples. As I was working with a company that was in the healthcare providing space, and when we did a study, and this is what I would always recommend, is do a study to find out what your peers are doing. As they looked around, and of the top 10 companies in their space, people had anywhere between 0 and 50 patents. And we had 0 at the time. So the clear message was, let's come up with a patent strategy to get many more patents. Well then, 5 years later, what do you know? We have 50 patents. So then what do you do at that point? Are there strategies there? And there are different reasons for a company to get patents. Sometimes it's to purely be defensive, like it was here. But then also, there were certain ideas and innovations where they thought they might spin it out into separate businesses. And the thinking is different there. Certainly, if you don't have a patent prosecutor you're working with that can explain these strategies and come up with an ethos that makes sense, you're working with the wrong person, or you need to find somebody that can go through the strategies with you. Because know that the person drafting your patents and prosecuting your patents has a completely different business model than you, and their strategy is to do as many as possible. But that may or may not make sense for your enterprise. So come up with that ethos and something that makes sense. And then keep track of it. If you wanted to get 50 patents and you have the 50 patents, well, think of another reason why you might go about doing it. And always be reevaluating, because you certainly don't want to have a strategy that I say is on cruise control, meaning that somebody picked the ethos for that strategy and you just keep doing it forever, because that's the only person that's really going to benefit is the person selling you patent services. So a patent program on cruise control is probably a bad idea. You should pop your head up each once in a while, look around, and see if that strategy still makes sense. And sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, right? So pick that ethos, stick with that ethos, and reevaluate. And things that will cause you to reevaluate would be, your original plan. Did you accomplish your original plan? Look to see what people think, right? What do your investors think? What does your the board of the company think? What does, maybe your advisors, what do they think? What is the industry doing? You can get landscape studies where someone will look to see what your competitors are doing, and that might be the guide, is just to sit there and try and fit within industry norms, what other people are doing. So pick an ethos, stick with it, reevaluate, and repeat. And that's what it's all about, to make sure that you are on track with regard to your patent strategy. So with that, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you have a topic that you want me to cover in a future video, also put those below and we'll get to them. Thanks so much.